Happy New Year, everyone. Jackson here. Welcome back to the Daily Endeavours for the 1st of January. So we have a 10 steel set. Timestamps will be in the description for each section if you want to find a specific endeavour. But just a couple of things to go through. Firstly, you might notice this character looked a bit different. I just went for a bit of a fashion change. I look like a Destiny 2 character, I think. I think I did a pretty good job in trying to do that. This is Lucent Guardian. That's the style. I got the horse, so... I got the mount, so I just thought something to match it with. Secondly, the daily rewards have changed for January. The two first ones are really good. We get 1,000 seals and 5 scrolls as a sort of recompense for the server outages we had last month. Broke up like for one day. We've got some good stuff. You got some writing lessons. You've got some scrolls, some gold materials. A couple of furnishings again, some poisons, some tripods. Interesting, some of these potions as well. I quite like these ones because you get movement speed, but you used to get a lot longer movement speed. I'm pretty sure this used to be like a lot longer, or maybe that was just invisibility. I'm pretty sure they used to give you a lot more movement speed though. But yeah, so you can get some of those, some mimic stones as well for getting styles that you wouldn't normally get materials for, because some materials in this game are very expensive. For example, the one for... is it the Ivory Brigade? The clasp? Do I have any? No, I don't. There's one for the Blackwood styles that's like 7,000 gold a piece or some shit. It's pretty ridiculous. And yeah, you can use crown mimic stones for that sort of thing. Alright, so next up, I won't be available for several days at least. I won't be able to make any videos for those days. I will try to make some posts on my community page to if I find out what the endeavors are, but I've tried to use oh god, what's his name? Right, here it is. Benevolent Bodhi? Is that how you say it, or is it Benevolent Bowed or Bode? I don't know. Sorry. Yeah, this is great. He used to do the endeavors here, but hasn't really been updated recently in some time. So I normally would use this. I might be able to use the ones on ESO Hub. I think those ones get updated. Yeah, these ones are getting updated. That's good. So I'll probably be able to use these to let you know. But I don't know. I don't know. I won't be able to say for sure yet until the time comes. But I'll try to do that. If not, yeah, just unfortunately you're just gonna have to deal with a couple of days without me. Alright, so let's get into this one. It's a fairly easy set. 5 items of provisioning, weapon enchantments, damage to structures and Cyrodiil, repairing, completing a Consumables Master Writ, and defeating a dragon. Haven't seen this one in a while. So we need either southern or northern Elsweyr. So the Elsweyr DLC. So you'll need the Elsweyr DLC or the Dragonhold DLC. This one will give you access to southern Elsweyr. So enchanting your recharging your weapons. So you got these three here. On the bottom right, you'll see it says charge. You hit whatever key that is. The UI will look a little bit different for keyboard. For console. But the outcome's the same. You find your weapons and you can just interact with them this way. So your soul gems, you can get these from fucking everywhere. You get them from dolmens, from delves, from public dungeons to group dungeons, to trials, to pretty much everything that you can kill something in. There's a couple of other things you can do. You know, you've got... I haven't got any on me, but you can get empty soul gems and use the soul trap skill from World, found here, to fill your soul gems, your empty ones. If not, you go to Mystics, like this one here, Mr. Cyrodiil. Go to the store, at the bottom you'll find soul gems. So you can buy these as well, and obviously empty soul gems are a lot cheaper if you want to go that route. But yeah, I guarantee most people have tons of these things lying around. So yeah, you just recharge 2 weapons. If you've only got one weapon, like for example, if you have a low level character... God, go away. So if you've only got one weapon, for example, like if you had this weapon here and it's fully charged, like you can't charge it again, all you got to do is go and find something to kill, and it will use the enchant, and then you can recharge it again, because it's just used one charge. So yeah, that's all I would do in that case. So we've got crafting with provisioning. So there's 2 prerequisites I suggest that you get from Hizala here, or any chef in the game. So Hizala can be found here in Solid Wings. Talk to her. There's 2 recipes. There's baked apples and banana surprise. Get these 2. You only have to buy them once, and then you never have to worry about them again. As soon as you got those, you've pretty much got everything you need to get this one done. So now you want to travel to this location right here, this little box section of the pier. You'll see this like cooking furnace sort of thing here. Now, there's a couple of things you want to look for. Firstly, you want to check this apple basket here. Grab the apples out of that. And then there's an apple basket here. Collect that. Come over here, and then some bananas and some apples in here. So this gives you all the stuff that you need to craft your apple or banana recipes that you've just bought. And there'll be enough stuff to make at least 5 items there. So come to this cooking fire here, it's the closest one. Now you go into food, you go fruit dishes, baked apples, and banana surprise. So either one of these, and you just go quantity 5. Now if you have max provisioning, you'll get passives that increase the amount of items that you can get per time. So Chef adds an extra serving to each food recipe. So 3 points in Chef will mean that instead of 1 baked apples, so you'll use 1 apple still, but you'll get 4 baked apples per apple. So it just means that you use less resources each time. Not that it matters much, because these are free and they're not even stolen, so it's really easy to get your hands on. So yeah, just go quantity 5. Oops, button. Let's just make those. And that's it. You're done for that one too. And now that you've got the 2 recipes to make these, you don't have to buy them again. It's just the one time, and now from this point on, you're able to easily do these craft items with provisioning skill endeavors for free. Okay, so next up we've got 10,000 damage to structures in Cyrodiil. So 10,000 damage is nothing. This is 75,000 damage, 10,000 damage, it's the same thing. It's just 2 repair kits. So what you'd want to do is go to a keep, particularly one on the front lines, because these are the ones that tend to just still have damage on them. Come to a quartermaster, buy repair kits. So just here, you just need 2 of these. Put them in your quick slot bar. I've got more than that, but just yeah. So got them on my quick slot bar here. Just come out to where the walls are, and you look around for some to repair. So right now there's none to repair, but there is one in this corner here, so I'm just going to go repair this. Now, something to keep in mind, these can be a bit weird. What I suggest is coming just before this little like wooden pattern here, because these I've seen these walls like just like these sections just suddenly wall up, and if you're on this side and it transforms, you'll get sent outside. It's a bit weird. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes I do. Just get fucking scared the shit out of by that. So the easiest way to know if a wall is damaged is you'll see these crane tools here. It's just like basically holding cut steel or stuff like that. These are just an indication that the wall is not fully repaired. Now all these ones here are fully repaired. You can see there's no sort of crane tools around them. Let's see if there's any around this wall. So you can see there's another corner over there that hasn't been repaired. So yeah, always check these corners, because these generally always are the last things that people repair. As you can see here, this one's damaged as well. And yeah, you do not need much at all. Like 2 repair kits is like, yeah, 10,000 health. So this thing, they have about 250,000 health. So it's missing tons of health as it is. These can also be damaged. You just look for the crane tools around the archway here. And yeah, you can do that. These walls can be repaired. These walls here, they also have a postern platform, which is a completely different thing. So there's a postern platform here, and then there's a keep wall here. So you've got 2 different things that you can repair here as well. So just keep an eye on those 2. Yeah, really not much there that you need to do. Just 2 repair kits for 180 gold, and then you've done this one. And just a little bit of time. Sometimes you'll come through and there'll be like nothing to repair. My suggestion is just maybe try and look through the different campaigns. There's 3 of them, possibly 4, depending on if you've got a low-level character. And then if you can't if, for example, there's like no keeps you can repair in Greyhost, and then you go to like no CP and your faction has no keeps at all, just maybe try and swap to a different character on a different alliance. Try then, just buy the 2 kits then and just give it a try, because you do not need any, like, as long as your character can, as long as you're able to use the WASD keys, the E key, hold the Q key and press the Q key and like look around, you can kind of do this one just fine. You don't need a strong character for this. So yeah, that definitely suggests doing these 3. They're really easy and reliable. Alright, so next up we've got a Consumables Master Writ. Now, I would only suggest doing this one for 10 seals if you've got one lying around. So there's 2 ways to get this if you haven't. One is through guild stores, could be quite expensive. One is to do some provisioning or alchemy writs. Now, it still baffles me to this day why consumable master writs, enchanting master writs aren't considered that, because you create glyphs which you consume on armor to enchant them. It's still, I don't know. Yeah, so you've only got alchemy and provisioning to use. My advice is alchemy ones will be better because you don't need the recipes to know them, but obviously if you've got the recipe, it's not so big a deal either. So yeah, you go find one here, so you'd go consumables, master writ, and you look through here. You want to type in seal provisioning writ, look through. So you've got some here, and then you've also got sealed alchemy writs. I find sealed alchemy writs to be a bit more expensive, but that's sort of, you're sort of paying for the ease of access sort of thing, because the provisioning ones, you need the recipes as well. I find the recipes not to be too bad, but you do have to run around and find the recipes, because you're not going to find, you might not find that specific recipe unless you like really search through guild stores, and in that case you'd want to use like TTC or some shit. But in this case, I've got one on me. I've just got a provisioning one that I've prepared earlier, so I'll just use that one as an example. Now, yeah, the other way to get them is through doing the provisioning or alchemy writs, and in those cases, it's a pretty low chance, I find, to get any, but you do get them every now and then. So yeah, I've got Wither Tree in venison pot roast. I've got that recipe, so I can just go do that. But yeah, you'd have to go searching for that recipe, and they're a couple of thousand usually, unless like someone's just gone and scalped them all and just made them super expensive. That is a thing that does happen as well. Now, there are some add-ons you can use, like Writ bottom. Hopeless, yeah. Worthy. So this one here, if you haven't started your Writ yet, you can use this to do it for you. So it'll come up here, it'd say type as provis, and you can like tick a box and it will craft it for you. But there's other add-ons that I have that also craft it for me. So here, I've got this one here. So daily provisioning, which does the writ normally, they also do the master writ stuff too. And if you do get a provisioning writ, if you can craft the recipes with the provisioning writ, you also will craft a bunch of items for this one as well. So you can get these 2 done in the same spot. So that can be good, but yeah, it just depends on if you've got the provisioning skill line leveled up. I think it is wise, because using your own resources to make that sort of thing can be handy. But yeah, that's your call to make there. Okay, last on the list, we got defeating a dragon. So you can only do this in the 2 Elsweyr DLC zones. So you've got Southern Elsweyr, where you'll find them on the map, and then you've also got Northern Elsweyr, where you'll find them. I prefer Southern Elsweyr, as do most people, because they're easier to reach. The ones in Northern Elsweyr, like, getting to them is mostly a trek. Like, this one here and this one here, it's quite a trek to get to them. So I just prefer Southern Elsweyr, but, not everyone's got access to that. So what I would do is, you want this way shrine, because you go around this way to find it, and this way shrine here, and you go along this way, and there's 2 bridges you can cross to get to all the locations where they are. And in Southern Elsweyr, all you really need is this way shrine, and then usually this way shrine to get to the one over here. So there's, I think, 3 spawn locations on the map, but I think there's only ever 2 up at a time. So that one's already dead. See, these ones will die super quick. So if you see one on the map and you've just entered the zone and it's under attack, odds are it'll be dead before you even get to it. So my advice is just wait for the next one to spawn. Now, there is one thing that you want to consider when fighting dragons, and that is to have some sort of negative effect remover. Efficient Purge is one of the base game ones, or not the base game ones, the class, the one you can use on any class. Through the Alliance War skill line, I think you need to get up to Alliance War 4, and then you get it on Support 4. The reason you want a negative effect removing ability is these things have this skill. It's marked for death, I believe it is. It's one of the abilities that they use, and it just adds a massive damage over time effect on you. It does tons and tons of damage. And you can remove it with negative effect, with Purge and with a couple of other skills. For example, you can remove it with Templars. This thing here, this is the effect. So look at the amount of damage it's doing. Okay. Doesn't seem to be doing as much damage. Though I have a lot of resistances, so... If you don't have a lot of resistances, that thing will do a lot of damage. And yeah, you can remove it with Purge. So if you're on his side, he'll usually wing swipe, and you can block it, but the blocking it, it's like you have to be a bit, you have to sort of predict it a little bit. Okay, so halfway through he'll fly off, and he'll start throwing shit on the floor, and he'll spawn some enemies. Sometimes, probably the most annoying enemy that they spawn are they're like fire bone colossus enemies. They spawn all sorts of shit. They'll spawn like Atronachs. He targets them with flame breath. That also does a lot of damage if you get hit by it. These things are designed for lots of people, so... Also, this circle that he creates when he lands, it does a lot of damage if you stand in it. And it does ramping up damage too, so if you stand in it for a certain amount of time, it just insta-kills you. So this thing here, the golden purple effect that he puts on you, you can remove that with Purge. Yeah, those meteors stun you as well. So yeah, these things have tons of health. The Cyrodiil thing, if you don't block that... Oh, tail swipe. If you don't block that, it knocks you back. You kill them. Yeah, Dragon's File, Dragon's Pellet. You might get Dragon's Blood, and if you've done the questline in Southern Elsweyr, you might get some Dragon Ram as well, which can sell for a lot. So it is lucrative doing this, but would I do this compared to the other ones? No, no way. Yeah, don't expect to fight these things alone. Because this is one of the endeavors, I guarantee there's going to be lots of people doing it right now. But if not, just try and carry lots of heals, because if you don't have a lot of resistances, that marked for death thing does tons of damage to you. Especially if you don't have any, if you have like very basic heals. Right, so now I'll just quickly go through some negative effect removals to get rid of marked for death if you get it. So the basic one, as I said before, it's Purge, this one here. If you can, I would morph it to Efficient Purge, because if you look at that magicka cost, it is fucking huge. Mind you, this is on a medium armor build, but still, even with reducing the cost, it's still fucking crazy. Like, you'll struggle to sustain your magicka with this. So yeah, Efficient Purge for sure. The Warden unique one is the Netch, so either of the Netches can work for this. In Animal Companions, this one here, they all remove a negative effect from you. Now, you do lose a bit of damage if it removes Marked for Death, but I'd rather have a little bit less damage than dealing with Marked for Death if I'm using a damage dealer, because Marked for Death fucking hurts. Like, it didn't hurt that much there, but that's because I was literally like, I had like 3 heals on me at all times. If you're just focusing on dealing damage, you're not going to have as many heals. And when you have to worry about all the AoEs on the floor and shit, it's a lot to deal with, so you want to get rid of it. The Necromancer actually has a couple, which is interesting. So the most readily available one will be Expunge. I would personally morph it to Expunge and Modifier, because you don't need more than, like, 2 alone is more than enough. Getting more resources is usually good, because I find Necromancers struggle big time for sustain. Yeah, you can use this one. And then Life Amid Death, there's also a morph that removes negative effects whenever you consume a corpse. So that can also help. And like 5 negative effect removals abilities like at a time, man, that, like, you will remove everything. You will be pure. So yeah, Necromancer is surprisingly good for this, which is you know, these came out with Elsweyr, so that, I guess that's kind of the idea, right? Now, that being said, I think Templars have the best one of the lot with Cleansing Ritual. So this one, you remove harmful effects from yourself, which is great, because you can remove it from yourself, but you can also remove it from allies with a Purify synergy. So you can pretty much bring all the Purifiers that people need, as long as they know when to use it, and you can basically save a whole team from the March for Death ability, if they're struggling with it, which can be really beneficial. So if you've got a Templar to use this, I'd say it's the best one. Purely because you can just really make it a whole lot easier on yourself and your allies if they're struggling. Now, there's a couple of other things. For example, there is a champion point. Cleansing Ritual also removes harmful effects every 24 seconds when they're under 25% health, though. And putting in a whole champion point, main champion point style for this, I don't think it's worth it. There's also a couple of skills. Oh, sorry, not a couple of skills. There's a couple of sets. One of these is Stendar. So when you heal yourself or an ally, you remove all negative effects every 30 seconds. Very hard to use, though, because when you want this to... you're going to be healing people all the time, right? So when you want this to work, it's not really going to be available. Curse Eater, on the other hand, might be a lot easier to use, because it's every 8 seconds. But this is a PvP set, and I think it's quite expensive to get. And it's also used there a lot, I think. So your ability to get this is probably not going to be very good. There's one more, Weird Tree's Blessing. I also wouldn't recommend this one too much, mainly because it's heavy. But every 15 seconds isn't too bad. But it's just for you and when you cast a magic ability. So yeah, kind of hard to use. I wouldn't recommend any of these. So if you don't have any of these classes, it's probably... You'll probably be fine just sucking it up, but you're just going to have to heal the shit out of yourself. But yeah, like I said before, you're probably not going to be alone with this stuff. You're probably going to have other people to help you. But yeah, if you've got any questions about dragons, if you're struggling with something else, just let me know. I'll try and help you out. But for now, that's everything. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. And I'll see you when I see you in a couple of days or so.